The Chargers didn't play well, but it's what every NFL team is starting to realize, that they don't have to be good. They don't have to play well. The Jets will beat themselves. And again, the Jets are beating themselves. Zach Wilson has zero feel for the game. I don't want to talk about it, but if this kid starts again, everyone's job should be on the line. I don't blame Zach Wilson. He's just not good at football. He's not a good NFL player. He never will be. That's for sure. 3 years in, can we say that? Can we all agree he's not a good NFL quarterback and never will be? I hope we can all agree on that. But the people who are going to keep coming out and keep saying, well, I don't know, give him time. We got to keep starting him. We could win other ways. Enough of that. Just bench him. And you're guaranteed to have a better shot at winning with Trevor Siemian. It's enough already. And the Zach Wilson truthers, I'm sitting on the train ride last night and I have the Zach Wilson truthers on my ass. Somebody wrote this. Somebody replied. This is actually a funny tweet. Also replied to one of the Zach Wilson truthers who's been in my mentions and on Twitter and going at me. He says, football isn't for you. Being completely honest, if you watch that game and you came away with that take in year fucking 3, you're talking about the kid like he's a rookie. Just give it up, man. I love the line, football isn't for you. Because if you can't see how fucking bad Zach Wilson is, this little shit is losing us the game and then has the audacity to stand up there and be like, guys, you got to give the Chargers credit, man. I mean, they're really good. No, they're not good. They were bad against every team. They're the worst offensive or the worst passing defense in the NFL. And the only guy who couldn't do anything against them is you. That's it. You're the only quarterback who sucked against this defense. That's it. No one else. And I can't handle it anymore. The last time they actually had a touchdown drive was in the Kansas City game, which is going to remain one of the greatest anomalies ever. But you watch guys like Aiden O'Connell and Josh Dobbs and Tyson Bagent even, and they can put together competent offense against anyone, and Zach Wilson can't. So what are you watching? Football's not for you. I'm sorry. If you still see Zach Wilson, just don't watch football anymore because you're not very good at it. And I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to chase people away from the podcast and chase people away from the show. I knew I was going to be talking in circles about Zach Wilson, just get infuriated for no reason. We're going to talk to Bilal on Thursday again. I don't even know what there is to talk about anymore. Because if they're going to keep starting this kid and keep being stubborn and keep saying, no, he's not the only problem, and coach speak like they're giving us, and Robert Saleh is giving us, and I don't know who's making this decision, and maybe it's Woody Johnson, who's like, hey, no, you have to start him. You drafted him. Otherwise, if you don't, like, they brought in Aaron Rodgers. They made the decision to move on from him already. So just move the fuck on. Bring whoever it is in here. Bring in Trevor Siemian. I don't care. Every single quarterback who played in this offense, who played for this team, has looked better than Zach Wilson the last 3 years. Whether it was Joe Flacco, whether it was Mike White, whether it was Chris fucking Streveler. Everyone has looked better than this kid. Honestly, I would go trade for Danny DeVito if I could. You saw Carson Wentz just signed with another team today. You have a guy on your roster and you're not even dressing him because it's going to hurt his confidence. You know what? The time that Zach Wilson actually played his best football was after you hurt his confidence, his little precious little feelings and emotions that he has. You can't ruin his confidence. Guess what? After Joe Namath came out and told him that he's a piece of shit quarterback, which he is, and he still is, that's when he had his best game against Kansas City. So maybe you should start. And Robert Saleh is standing there on the sideline doing nothing and saying nothing. It's going to cost you your job. I don't care how bad the Giants are this year. I want to see if I saw Brian Daboll grab Zach by the face mask and look him in the eyes and say, dude, what the hell are you doing? That's what I want. And we're never going to see it from this kid. And it drives me insane. It's infuriating. I'm sure you hear it in my voice. It's so frustrating. And I know if Bilal was on here, he'd be saying the same thing. So you could tell me, oh, I'm a NARP or whatever you want to call me. I don't know anything. Well, I don't know. That's what this kid is. It's what he's been. And he's holding this team back, and he's going to cost them a chance to actually do something special because Rodgers looks like healthy. And I hate the storylines with Rodgers now because I think it's so stupid and we're wasting our time with it because this team's not going to be in a position to bring him back if they continue to play like this with this kid.